And welcome to TV 16's Live at 5. I'm Matt Chaffin.
And I'm Kelby Serwanka. The 3 Searcy residents competing in the Boston Marathon are safe.
And Exxon is compensating those affected by the Mayflower oil spill.
We'll have all that for you and more, but first, your TV 16 news starts right now. A day after the devastating Boston Marathon bombing, and it shook close to home for 3 Searcy residents who came away unscathed. Tia Stone, an adjunct professor at Harding, Tish Pace, daughter of head Harding University tennis coach, Coach Elliott, and Nathan Venable, a lab support specialist at Harding University. Stone finished the marathon in 3 hours 3 minutes, and Pace clocked in at 3 hours and 33 minutes. Venable also finished in 3 hours and 43 minutes. Stone and Pace were celebrating afterward, thinking they heard lightning or celebration of Patriots Day, but later realized they were only a few blocks away from the 2 bombs. Neither Stone nor Pace saw any victims of the bombings, but described the aftermath as total commotion. The ladies were unable to use public transportation and had to walk over 6 miles to get back to where they were staying. They also couldn't use their cell phones for an hour to touch base with family back here. They both are relieved that nothing happened when 27,000 athletes were waiting for 2 hours for the race to begin. Stone and Pace hope to fly back to Arkansas today.
The oil pipeline rupture in Mayflower has been cut out and has been sent to a lab for testing. Crews spent yesterday removing the 52-foot segment of pipeline that burst back on March the 29th. No families have moved back into the area where thousands of gallons of oil spilled, and a new section of pipe was fitted today. However, ExxonMobil said there is currently no time frame for the pipeline to be restarted. Before that can happen, the company must complete a number of procedures along with regulation measures. The pipeline runs 8,850 miles between Illinois and Texas. Also, ExxonMobil is paying displaced Mayflower, Arkansas residents $10,000 in compensation. Exxon sent a letter to residents of Northwood subdivision offering the $10,000 along with 1 whole house cleaning and 2 months of yard maintenance for the yards that had to be re-landscaped due to the oil spill. Exxon offered to pay for moving expenses and 3 months rent for tenants whose landlords decided to sell their homes due to the spill. The company says that acceptance of these offers will not affect the right of residents to file separate claims against them.
A former Little Rock interim assistant principal is facing harassment charges. Police say former Central High School assistant principal Thomas McDonald turned himself into juvenile detectives earlier today. Police say they were told of possible sexual misconduct by McDonald in December, but made no arrests after investigation. The case file was sent to a prosecutor who requested warrants for McDonald's arrest. McDonald was issued a citation for the warrants and is due in court next week.
A Benton man is being charged with terrorism. Police say they received an email late last week demanding a large sum of money, and if the demands were not met, the sender threatened to kill 1 person every day. Benton police then called in the FBI's Little Rock office to help them determine the sender. Police served a search warrant on Saturday and took Benjamin Spears of Benton into custody. Spears is charged with criminal attempt to commit theft of property and computer fraud and is being held on a $250,000 bond. Police say the investigation is still ongoing and are asking anyone with information to please contact them.
A 5-month narcotics investigation in Eureka Springs is coming to a close. Police say detectives worked with an individual arrested in October who agreed to be their informant. The following investigation resulted in 25 arrests for selling, manufacturing, and possessing with the intent to manufacture dangerous drugs. Detectives worked with arrested informants to buy meth from suppliers. Detectives made arrests after seeing the exchanges. The meth recovered has a street value of nearly $9,000. And the first K2 lab in Arkansas is discovered and shut down. The Eureka Springs Police Department found the lab after a harassment charge was filed against Jason Nation of Eureka. Nation was harassing a man about a K2 deal that didn't go through. When police went to Nation's room at the 1876 motel, they found the active K2 lab and shut it down. Nation is charged with harassment, and charges of manufacturing K2 are pending results from the crime lab. K2 is a synthetic marijuana that is illegal in the state of Arkansas.
A proposal that would provide health care to uninsured Arkansas residents is moving to the Senate. The Arkansas House voted earlier today in favor of using federal money to purchase insurance for about 250,000 low-income residents. The funding bill received 77 votes. It needed just 75 to pass after 9 Republicans changed their voting position after yesterday and today's voting sessions. And a new Arkansas law may be challenged by an organization in Little Rock. The challenge filed by the American Civil Liberties Union in Little Rock argues that the new abortion law is unconstitutional. The new law restricts abortion of a fetus that is at least 12 weeks old. The law does hold exceptions for cases involving rape and incest. The bill was originally vetoed by the governor, but became a law when it was returned to the Arkansas House of Representatives and the Senate.
April is Women's Eye Health and Safety Month. This month is intended to encourage women to go get their eyes checked. As experts say, women are at a higher risk of developing some eye diseases than men. Eye doctors are encouraging women over the age of 40 to have a baseline exam. Holly Furfer has more on the issue and what can be done to prevent it.
Our vision may seem a little blurry with age. However, doctors have a very clear message.
For those who have not had an eye exam, just realize there are a lot of eye diseases out there, and virtually all of them can be slowed, or some of them are prevented if we can do an annual eye exam and pick those conditions up.
According to a recent study by the
More
group
women wear
Prevent
reading
Blindness
glasses.
America, women, more often than men, have leading eye diseases and conditions that threaten their vision. In fact, females are more likely to be visually impaired or blind. Prevent Blindness America wants to educate women of this fact, although they stress the importance of baseline exams for everyone at age 40. Here are some other things all people can do as they age to protect their vision. Follow a healthy diet, include dark leafy greens. Don't smoke. Always protect your eyes from UV rays. And make your doctor aware of any family history of eye disease. They say good health is important to maintaining good vision. For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
All right, well, later on in Live at 5, the latest updates from the investigation of the Boston Marathon bombing.
And a major airline experiences delays lasting the entire day today.
Find out about those stories and more after the break, but first, Charlie Briggs has the forecast.
Thanks, Matt. It's pretty sunny here, pretty partly cloudy. It was spring temperatures today here in Searcy. Find out how this weather is going to last and how long it's going to last after the break.
Signs of a stroke can save someone's life. All you need to do is remember the word FAST. F is for face, a drooping face, a severe headache, and sudden dimming of vision.
A is for arms, weakness, paralysis, and numbness, particularly on one side of the body.
S is for speech, slurring of words, trouble speaking, and trouble understanding.
T is for time. If symptoms occur, call 911 immediately.
For you. Hey, Mom.
You know, girls, I used to cheer back in my day. Ready? Okay! Go team!
That was amazing, amazing, amazing. Mom, that was amazing.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
Along with weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
Healing takes time. it also takes knowledge and expertise. Here we learn to reach out to and care for others through the application of medicine and true compassion. We understand that our mission is to take our training and abilities out into the world where they can and do heal the lives of others. For us, that mission began in a place of faith, learning, and living. Harding University.
Welcome back. It was pretty sunny and partly cloudy here in Searcy. Spring temperatures feeling all around. We'll find out how long that's going to stay here in Searcy. But first, let's look at those current conditions in Searcy. Right now, it's 85 degrees with wind coming in from the south at 15 miles an hour. The humidity is down, but the dew point is up, so it is causing this kind of muggy feel that you feel outside. Sunset coming in at 7:41 tonight. Now looking here at your surface map, as you can see, you see a little bit of snow here in South Dakota. You do see this pressure system coming in right across Arkansas, so it looks like it's making its way out of Arkansas. Other than that, not much really happening throughout the U.S. Looking here at the state temperatures, mainly 80s throughout most of the state. You do see Fayetteville at 77. You do see also Monticello at 86, so it is higher in the 80s as you go south. Also here at Texarkana at 84. Now looking at your White County temperatures, you see Bald Knob and Bradford at 86, as well as Beebe at 86, Georgetown here at 87, and also you see Rosebud at 83. Now looking at tonight's temperatures, we're going to see 76. We're going to see a possibility of 76 tonight. Wind going down to 12 miles an hour, so it won't be much of a factor compared to how it's been today. It's going to be very warm, partly cloudy, and very windy tonight. Now looking here at your evening planner, you see 81 with sunny clouds, sunny with clouds, and then at 9 o'clock we're going to see just a little bit of clouds, 76. The temperature is going to go down a little bit, and as we get into the later in the evening around midnight, it's going to be 71. Now looking here at tomorrow's temperatures, we're going to see 77 tomorrow with 14-mile-per-hour winds, so the wind will stay just about what it is or what it's been for the last couple of days. It's going to be very warm, very cloudy tomorrow. Now, going to what I was saying a little bit earlier about the spring temperatures, how long they're going to be here. Let's look at our 5-day forecast. Tomorrow, 84, sunny with clouds, and then the 80% chance of thunderstorms on Thursday. That thunderstorms and rain will only be here for Thursday. The temperatures will drop as we go on to Friday with sunny skies at 57. Saturday, a little bit of clouds at 62, and Sunday with sunny skies and 70. So the temperature will begin its roller coaster once again here in Arkansas. But that's all I have for weather. Now back to this with Kelby and Matt. Kelby?
Thanks, Charlie. The beginning of healing in Boston after tragedy struck at the finish line of the Boston Marathon yesterday. 2 bombs exploded during the 117th annual Boston Marathon yesterday afternoon. The explosions killed 3 people and injured over 170 others. Zane Asher has the latest updates from Boston.
Back-to-back explosions rocked the city of Boston, leaving a gruesome scene of blood and destruction near a row of international flags.
Everybody knew immediately there was a problem. The smoke rose immediately above the buildings. It rose so quickly it was clear that it was a big explosion. The sound itself sort of rumbled the ground.
Tuesday, President Obama condemned the attacks.
This was a heinous and cowardly act, and given what we now know about what took place, the FBI is investigating it as an act of terrorism.
Investigators continue to look for answers into what Boston's police commissioner is describing as the most complex crime scene in the history of the department. Authorities are asking for photos and videos taken around the time of the attacks for clues. The FBI reassured victims justice will be served.
The American public wants answers. The citizens of the city of Boston and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts want and deserve answers.
3 people were tragically killed in Monday's attack, including 8-year-old Martin Richard, who's seen in a Facebook photo holding a sign that reads, quote, "No more hurting people, peace." The child's message transcended social media and echoed across the nation Tuesday as runners in Atlanta staged a silent run to honor him and other victims. A moment of silence was also observed before the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. Reporting from Boston, I'm Zane Asher.
Today, the FBI and President Obama have both classified the bombing in Boston as a terrorist attack. Several Boston public safety organizations are offering a $50,000 reward for the arrest and conviction of the person or people responsible for the attack.
And the strong bond between the United States and Great Britain is showing itself in the aftermath of the Boston Marathon bombing. British Sports Minister Hugh Robertson pledged that the London Marathon will continue as planned on Sunday to show solidarity for the victims of the Boston Marathon bombing. Robertson says that the move is to send a very clear message to those responsible for the attack that they will not be cowed by this sort of behavior. And
Today is the 6th-year anniversary of the Virginia Tech massacre. Flowers and wreaths decorated the campus memorial as the school has organized a day of remembrance to honor the 32 victims of the 2007 shooting rampage. The school held a candlelight vigil at midnight and will extinguish the ceremonial candle tonight. Friends and families of the victims held a moment of silence on Capitol Hill for the victims of not just the Virginia Tech shooting, but others killed by gun violence. The group is also in Washington to push for Congress to pass tougher gun control restrictions.
The violence continues to increase in Venezuela since the election of its new president. 7 people have died in demonstrations in the streets of Caracas since Sunday night. Rioters are protesting the government's refusal to allow a recount in the presidential elections last week. Nicolas Maduro was narrowly elected president over Enrique Capriles. Capriles was a candidate from the opposition party to both Maduro and former President Hugo Chavez. Chavez served as president from 1999 until he died from cancer in early March.
The workday may be almost over for most American citizens, but one major airline is just getting started with its workload. American Airlines announced on its Twitter account that all flights would be delayed until around 5 Eastern Time today. The airline's delays had come because of technical difficulties with its computer system. Outages were crippling the network's reservation and booking service, which fields around 239,000 reservation calls a day. The computer system has been restored, but the airline says that the delays and cancellations will be continuing. Overall, American Airlines says that it serves around 275,000 passengers daily.
And rating systems at the movies are getting a new look. The Motion Picture Association of America will provide more information in its rating descriptions regarding violence in movies. Instead of just saying violence, the MPAA will now describe a movie as containing strong carnage or war violence. The move comes in a response to the White House's calling for the movie industry to put more tools in the hands of parents for monitoring the violence their kids are exposed to in the media.
Whereabouts or get arrested. Police in Shreveport, Louisiana put a man in prison for sagging pants, but say that he has done more than just walking and talking with his pants on the ground. Fred Childers has more.
Shamika Woodbury walks down Centenary Boulevard with her 2 kids, the same way her husband Aaron Woodbury did Sunday afternoon. But she says he encountered police.
Got his daughter a thirst buster and was coming back home. He was halfway here in the Philadelphia parking lot, and they ran over here. A bunch of cops that just manhandled him and took him back over there.
Shamika says she was shocked when she saw her husband being handcuffed.
I'm like, you're arresting him because he wouldn't put up his pants? Why?
We asked that question to police.
No, they were initially dispatched to a fight. During the course of that call for service, a large crowd gathered there.
Police say Woodbury was part of that crowd, and he was not only asked to leave, but told to pull his pants up.
He refused to do so on both counts. So they gave him an opportunity to correct the problems and leave the area. Refusing to do so, ultimately they made a decision they were going to take him into custody.
I feel you're right. It's your style to wear your clothes how you want to wear them. That proves who you are. That shows who you are as an individual.
And while Woodbury feels that's her husband's right, she doesn't believe he was exercising it when he was arrested or any other time. She says sagging is not his style.
No, he never sags. He always has a belt on, and his pants is always pulled up. He never leaves home sagging.
Woodbury was charged with resisting arrest and the wearing of pants below the waist in public.
All right, well now we have sports reporter Brian Petrie here to tell us a little bit about what's coming up in sports. Brian, what you got?
Well, we just got word that the men's and women's golf teams just finished up in Hot Springs. The women won the GAC tournament 2 years in a row. The men placed 6th. So we'll find out on Thursday if they'll make the regionals tournament. But when we come back from the break, we're going to take a look at how the Boston Marathon bombings affected the sports world yesterday. Stay with us.
We are this close. We are this close. To making history.
This close to changing the world.
We are this close. We are this close.
This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
ever again.
We are this close to ending polio.
This close to ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
Be a part of history at Rotary.org.
In the event of a car crash, 3 out of 4 kids are not as secure as they should be because their car seats are not used correctly. But the latch system makes it easier to get it right and to hold your kids tight. Anchor, tether, latch. Learn more at safercar.gov.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you were really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Hungry? Yeah. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
The Harding men's tennis team concluded the 2013 regular season Monday with a 6-3 loss against 46th ranked Southeastern Oklahoma State in Great American Conference play. With the loss, Harding dropped to 12-7 overall and 0-3 in the GAC action. That means the Bisons will be the 4 seed in the GAC tournament and will meet number 1 seed Ouachita Baptist on Friday in Bentonville. As for the women, they clinched the 3 seed in the upcoming GAC tournament with a 6-3 road win over conference foe Southeastern Oklahoma State on Monday. Both teams entered the match 2-3 in conference, but with the victory, Harding captured the number 3 seed, which means they will meet Henderson State, the 6th seed, on Friday in the conference tournament in Bentonville, Arkansas. As you may have seen, Henderson State was in town for a non-conference baseball game today. Harding won the 3-game Great American Conference Series against Henderson State 2-1 in Arkadelphia on Friday and Saturday. The Bisons are hot at the plate right now, specifically Billy Ninemeyer. He had a 10-game hitting streak going into the game today and singled up the middle in the first to extend it to 11 games. Harding grabbed 3 runs in the 7th inning off of errors and wild pitches to win the game 4-2. Next up, a series with Ouachita Baptist this weekend here in Searcy. Now, on a serious note, the aftermath of the Boston Marathon bombing took a serious toll on our country. Several sports players and teams took time to honor those affected. Everyone from the Miami Heat to the Nashville Predators to the Los Angeles Dodgers had a moment of silence for the city of Boston. Even Boston sports rival city Chicago took a full-page ad saying each Windy City team stands with Boston. New England Patriots receiver Danny Amendola has been with the team for about a month, but he's pledged $100 for each catch and $200 for each drop this season. Sports Illustrated has already said their next issue will be dedicated to the Boston Marathon attacks. It's amazing how rivalry in sports can bring a country together.
Man, I tell you what, I don't really know what I was thinking. It was kind of hard to decipher, and seeing what was going on. Man, I used to live above Abe and Louis, so you know, it's tough just thinking about all the people that I know there and what they're going through.
It was just horrible events. You know, living right in that, right there. It was an awful day, sad day. You know, always go down after practice and and watch. You know, I've done it every year that we've been in town because I live literally 2 blocks from it, finish line, and you know, I was on my way actually. I had just gotten out of the tunnel, you know, when the bomb exploded. So it's just awful. You know, it takes the joy out of sports. That's what sports is supposed to bring, is joy, and it took all the joy out of the event and out of the day. You know, so it was a long day for everyone. But you know, being in the city, the one thing I will say is you're just really proud to be part of Boston. I mean, I saw people didn't work for the police or anything like that, directing traffic, you know, showing people where to go, and I just thought the spirit of Boston was phenomenal last night. So, you know, in a tragic event, you know, it either separates you or brings you together, and they clearly brought the city of Boston together, which was awesome.
There were over 35 Arkansas runners at the marathon. The winner of the marathon was Ethiopia's Laliza Desiza in 2 hours and 10 minutes. I speak for everyone here at TV16 when I say our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by the Boston Marathon bombings. That's all from sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Brian. Coming up in just a few minutes, find out how much the most expensive iPhone is.
Stay with us.
Bicycle helmets have been shown to reduce the risk of head injury as much as 85%, and the risk of brain injury is as much as 88%. The next time you ride your bicycle, be sure to grab your helmet. To find out more about traumatic brain injury, visit www.cdc.gov/traumatic brain injury.
I'm a big believer in the power of we. We can tackle the tough challenges we face and build community through service and volunteering. It's time for you to raise your hand. Go to serve.gov and get involved in something you believe in.
How will you raise your hand when they call your name?
Are you with me?
We weren't born to follow.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone, but you're not alone. At IAVA.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. IAVA.org. We've got your back.
Savings Man here with a story for you about 2 young spenders named Tommy and Sue. Their parents let them buy whatever they chose, like video games and designer clothes. As they grew older, they spent all their pay on fancy cars, houses, 2 lattes a day. They lived in the moment, never saving a dime. When they tried to retire, they'd run out of time. Working forever is Tom and Sue's fate, so choose to save now before it's too late. Visit our website to find out more, 'cause a happy ending's worth saving for.
There's luxury, and then there is this. Diamonds may be a girl's best friend, but a Hong Kong businessman is proud of his black diamond iPhone 5. This may be the most expensive smartphone in the world. The phone is a diamond and gold encrusted handset that includes a hidden 26-karat black diamond. The London jeweler who made the phone says it is worth up to $15 million. Normal iPhones on the Apple website range from $200 to $850. This phone of luxury contains 600 flawless white diamonds, solid gold dressing.